So in 2004, I actually started off rapping. So I was rapping,
Okay.
and uh, I was rapping over other instrumentals, famous instrumentals, and then well, I wanted to put out my own projects with my crew that I was with back in the day, and yeah, so I started making beats out of necessity, and then once I started making beats, I just realized like this is where my heart belongs. I really fell in love with the production side of things, and even though I kept up with rapping at that time, I was just finding my way around, making beats, trying out different programs and stuff, and then yeah, just eventually just stopped rapping altogether and just focused on setting a nice plate for other artists to eat off of, and it's just been beats ever since.
So when you go from like rapper to producer full time, how do you turn, or how are you finding people to hop on your beats? Was it just from your network, 'cause since you were a rapper, or were you reaching out like on your own? How did that work?
So initially, when I was rapping and making beats, I was also engineering too at the time. I forget that was like, but that was like a very short-lived thing. Found out it's not really what I like to do, but um, so when artists would come over to the studio and record, I'd also upsell beats as well, and so it was a lot of word of mouth. That was back in my hometown in Laredo, Texas. Um, then fast forward years later, I moved up to San Antonio, which that's where I'm at now, and I don't know anybody. I had already been like on a hiatus for a few years. Um, I was still making stuff, but I wasn't putting anything out. So the way I got the word out again was really just posting up on all the platforms, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok as well. Just casting my net out as wide as possible. Um, I wasn't really cold DMing people. Um, just honestly, just putting out videos of my beats myself. That was using the platforms as an ad, I guess per se. And
No, yeah,
that's
I
how I was able
agree.
to get consistent clients.
I agree. I like the way that you placed it as like an ad. And you did mention something, you said upsell, so I want to touch more on that. I don't know if you have a sales background, but was there like a specific strategy, like in terms of like, did you go in just like releasing stuff, like no strategy behind the content, or did you create a little strategy or come up with something, or did it all work out naturally for you?
Um, I was just at first when I came back like in 2020. That's COVID shutdowns and all that stuff. Uh, that's when I got fired from or let go from my diesel tech job, and I thought it was essential, right? But it was at that point that I was like, I'm never gonna give anyone that kind of power over me again. So that's when I like fully locked into the music stuff, and I did not have a strategy at all. It was just like, let me just start putting stuff out. I didn't have a strategy at all. The videos I was putting out back in the day were so horrible, but it was my first time really like putting out content, I guess. But I just got better over the years, of putting out videos with the beats and stuff. So yeah, I don't know if that answers your question, but I really didn't have a strategy. I was just like, hey, you know what? If someone finds it and they like it, well, maybe they'll buy it,
Mm.
and that's just kind of been working for me.